Hey guys, welcome back. It's Chevy, and we'll be playing Search and Destroy on USS Texas. Now, this isn't going to be any old Search and Destroy match. This is actually going to be Search and Destroy in ranked play. Now, I was really excited that it was coming to this game as well, and I wanted to give it a try since it's been many CODs ago that I actually played Call of Duty competitively in any shape, way, or form. Now, as you can see, there's 4 of us to a team. Now, this is going to go by CWL rules, and if you're not familiar with those, I will put a link in the description so that way you guys can kind of gloss over what exactly that means. Now, basically, the game modes that will be in CWL as far as the rank play are concerned will be Search and Destroy, Hardpoint, and Capture the Flag. Now, out of all 3 of those game modes, Search and Destroy is probably the one that I'm a little more familiar with. I really don't like playing Capture the Flag. It's pace is kind of slow for me, and it just feels like a lot of nothing is happening sometimes, depending on the map. And Hardpoint, I really just think it's an inferior version of Headquarters. Now, as far as this gameplay is concerned, it's going to be some very simple gameplay. I'm not going to go like 9-2 or 10-0. I'm a very average Search and Destroy player. I really am very slow moving. I tend to focus my attention on where people may be coming and try my best not to die. That's really, for the most part, my mindset in Search and Destroy, at least when I'm playing, is do not die, do not die, do not die, rather than kill everything in sight. Now, that's probably a bad thing for some people. I find it better simply because I'm not becoming a liability, so obviously the less I can die, unless I can feed kills to the other team, then the better. Now, with this, the good thing about the create a class system when you're playing rank play is obviously you have to set up an entirely new set of classes, since most of the time, depending on how your playstyle is, you may have 1 or 2 of those things that are on the no-no list for the CWL. Now, thankfully in the create a class section, it actually does show you what is allowed and what is not allowed when it comes to basic training, attachments, tacticals, and score streaks. So at least you're not flying blind and not having to Google it every 20 seconds to make sure that your class is okay. Now, as you can see, with this setup on USS Texas, I really hate this map, to be honest, because it kind of forces the action all in one section, especially on Search and Destroy. Most of the time, A is going to end up being the place that most people tend to gravitate towards just because of where its location is. As you can see, I totally just misjudged where that guy was coming from. I could hear him coming, and for some reason, I felt like I was secure behind that little barrier, but obviously I wasn't, because my head was peeking out just at the top. So now, to win in these ranked plays, now it needs to be actually 6 instead of just the standard 4. That way it gives, you know, both teams a fair chance of obviously being able to come back, just in case things keep flip-flopping back and forth. Now, frankly, I don't recommend that everyone do ranked play. Obviously, if you're not at all comfortable with any of the 3 game modes, I would just say don't do it, simply because you won't have any fun. You're going to be with total strangers as far as your teammates, and if you don't really communicate well, or if they can't speak or don't have mics or anything like that, it may just exacerbate the already complication of playing with randoms to the nth degree. Now, this guy at the top of my team, thankfully, is a very competent S&D player. As you can see, he's 4-2. The rest of us are kind of just dragging along. Really, I just tend to stay away from the fray because I know that's normally not my style, so I'm always going to lose a gunfight. Now, it's frustrating to say the least. At least when I was playing, I had played about 4 other matches, and some of them were hardpoint, and those were probably the ones that I didn't want to play at all, just because the way that the spawns in this map continue to be just absolutely heinous. They really don't give you a good leg up or even any kind of non-advantage. Most of the time, depending on who's being aggressive, the advantage will go to them simply by that nature. So as you can see, this guy, I mean, he is putting in the work. He is now 7-2, and I am still near the bottom of the map, or the bottom of the leaderboard at 2-2. So, not exactly helping out my team, but I'm not, ruining it for everybody. Now, I definitely would say that there's probably a little bit of things that could probably be changed with this rank play system, especially one of the biggest things that I've noticed. I do understand that there are penalties for people that leave games, but I just don't think, honestly, that it is harsh enough. I've been in a couple of games previous to this game where people would come in and then they'd either get one kill or they'd leave the match entirely after 2-3 rounds go by in search, and you're down a person. So keep that in mind, that if you're going to play the rank play, make sure you have a stable connection and make sure that you can last the entire time, even if it were to go into overtime, because obviously you need to win 6. Because nothing is more frustrating than getting into a game and seeing you have your full team of 4, and then all of a sudden it's down to 3 or even 2 because people decide to leave. Now, obviously I understand if things come up, emergencies and whatnot, but I mean, come on. We're all playing the same game. We're all, going ahead and trying to be fair to one another. So let's not be, douchey and try to just force people's hands, because it's happened and it was a very, very bad game. I remember it was 4 of us, suddenly it was 2, and we were just getting destroyed in a hardcore match. Just because, well, what are 2 people going to do against 4 against hardpoint when they're taking the entire thing and you can't even get in to even try? I don't believe that game we even got close to capping because we were getting killed so much. Now, as you can see, I am using the bar, and I'm still 50-50 on this gun. Like, I like it and everything, but I don't think I like it nearly as much as other people in this game have liked it, simply because I'm too busy trying to use other guns, and it's just, I tend to gravitate with one gun and stay with that gun until I get it to gold, which, is a good thing and a bad thing. I just feel like in order for me to continue to have fun with the game, I have to constantly give myself challenges, and the minute that I stop having challenges like that, it ruins my fun, and then I no longer want to play. Now, thankfully, I'm actually putting in a little bit of work, just a little bit, by getting that guy, and we are now 5-1, and I'm going 4-2, which isn't terrible. Obviously it could be doing a little bit better, but I'm more than breaking even, so I'll take it at this point. Now, here we go. It's one more win, and then we can be done with this. Frankly, I'm not really sure if I'll stick with rank play all the way through. Some of my luster has been soured. I totally lost that, and I did not even pay attention how well he got me through that opening right there near the boat. And here we go, spectating a teammate, and he's just waiting. It's always good when you're following somebody, especially if you don't know that you're following them, to wait till you have a clear shot, because obviously the last thing you want to do is give away your position. And if you can hear, I can hear those footsteps too, and I'm like, oh, he knows where he's coming from. He knows where he's coming from. Hoping, will this guy pull out the clutch? Get it? It is now a 1v1. And here we go. Where is he? He's just running around trying to find that dude. Is he gonna get him? Oh, decides to throw a Molotov, which was a really bad throw because there's, something overhead. And now at this point, this is a very, very good trick that this guy is doing, since it is not on us to plant, it is on him. So he needs to actually plant the bomb in order for him to buy himself more time, and obviously he knew that, so he waited it out, waited for him to get closer, and then took him out. So good job for that guy. And there we go. Victory is ours. So I know it was very lackluster gameplay. This was more just kind of a commentary on the rank play itself. Thank you guys for watching. Please go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe the video, and I will see you guys again soon.